All right, your name?
Suzanne Ratty.
Company?
Law Office of Jeffrey Nowak.
Where'd you go to school?
Bucks Community College, 2002 graduate with a paralegal degree.
What would you recommend, how would you recommend getting experience in the paralegal field?
Definitely intern. Do internships to get your foot in the door, to get your feet wet. It's difficult to get experience because you're going out there with no experience. And law is a very fast-paced field. You have to know what you're doing, and the only way to find out what you're doing is to do it as you go along and do it as an intern, follow someone.
Mm-hmm. Is there volunteering options?
I guess you could. I mean, you can volunteer your time as an intern to to some law firms, but I've had difficulty running into some, trying to find employment. But that's only because I lack the experience, and I took a long time before I put myself out there. It was 06, 07 before I put myself out there to find employment.
Okay. Can you talk about what you like about this job and what you don't like?
I have a love for law. I kind of knew the laws. I had a personal situation. I knew the laws, but I didn't know how to make them work. I didn't know how to enforce the law, and I needed an attorney to help guide me. That's where I started with my experience, and then I moved on to, hey, I'm going to go to school for this. I'm going to start doing this, and it's just a love for the law. That there's so many twists and turns to it, and knowing the law is your key.
Yeah.
A lot of people out there think they know the law, and they'll quote a law, and it's really not what they think it is. Interpretation.
Is there anything that you don't like?
There are some down parts to it.
Like?
Cases, situations, feeling empathy for a client, and there's nothing you can do about it. They're in a bad situation, or they're in a lose situation, and you'd like to help them, but the law interpreted properly is not going to be on their side. And it's usually domestic when you get your broken heart.
What type of law practice is this?
We do a lot of bankruptcy. Of course, it's the economic climate for it. A lot of divorce and custody. We do wills, trust, estates.
Okay.
We've actually got a few criminal cases also.
Okay. Would you consider the workload extreme, moderate, or comfortable that you have to deal with?
I would say it's moderate.
Moderate?
But yet comfortable. So
Okay.
Interpret that. Extreme sometimes, yes. But every job has an extreme situation, like moments. There's some nights where I don't get out of here for an hour and a half after normal time. But there's other nights I should have left 2 hours ago, but it's just not that time of the day yet.
Mm-hmm. How long are your hours?
I work an 8-hour day.
8-hour day.
And there are some days where, like I said, that I could leave earlier, except I'm not here to answer the phone for the client if they happen to call in. And there's other days where there's really always something to do. I mean, I could be filing, keeping organized, but when you're talking motions, pleadings, and drafting stuff, the letters, there's once in a blue moon I can get myself out of here, but most of the time I'm here until my 5 o'clock bell.
Can you go over your day? Like you said, filing. What else do you do?
Usually in the morning I come in and I jump right into whatever I left on my desk from the night before.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that's nothing. And then if after that I go in, we usually go in, we converse what's on the calendar for the day. And then I start in on my motions, my pleadings. Now he does dictation. I don't know what other attorneys do with their letters because, like I said, I've only worked for 3 other places, and that was also foreclosure, what I was working in on the bank side, those former places that I've worked. Basically, what I didn't like about that, backtrack a little bit, I didn't like foreclosing on people, sending the sheriff out to lock the house down and lock you out. I hated that. Definitely not the lawyer type because I'm too sympathetic. But anyway, we get coming in the morning, we converse as to what's on the calendar, what's got to get done. I usually have some filing to do because you want your files all in order, because whoever gets a phone call and goes to that file, they want, even the letter that was written yesterday, they want that in the file. So I make sure I get my filing done, any letters I sent out, any pleadings I've sent out, waiting for the timestamp copies to come back. And then I get to my dictation. That's how he does his letters, dictation. It's a headset with a tape recording.
Okay.
And a foot pedal.
Cool.
And I just type away. And really, you could put out 15 letters probably in a matter of two hours.
That's great.
No, it's not. Nobody likes dictation. You don't get to hear music then. But anyway, but that's the way the business is run. It gets the work done. And then often we'll have pleadings, motions, and I still take a lot of my stuff to him first. Any letters I can put out, I still, I prefer to have him look over the drafts. I do client interviews, bring them in. Like today I had a divorce situation. I interviewed. I did the whole intake and interrogatories, which is the opposing counsel's questions to my client. I went over them with her. And now what I'll do is I'll put that into a typed format, answering their questions, and that'll be submitted into the courts.
That was great.
That was great.
Mm-hmm. That was really good. I'll stop it.